Hi, I'm Toye Johnson-Vincent, your no sugarcoating coach, motivational speaker, certified life coach, HR talent acquisition professional. Let's talk about today declutter, declutter everything. How about that? Not just decluttering, going into your closet space and making room for things that you really need. That's great. That's fantastic. And donating and doing community service along with providing something that someone else could use. We're all used to that, right? That's one form of decluttering. But today's life skill journey topics, you know what? You really do need to think about decluttering everything that does not make sense to keep any longer. Because, in essence, why are you keeping it? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself. What is it of value, or does it have any value? If it doesn't have any value, then it should be easy to put it in something, a pile of what have you, or container, and just say, I'm done with it. No more clutter in your life. So yes, we're used to decluttering by going through the closet space and providing clothes and giving that to local organizations, and or perhaps even bringing that to a family member or a friend that may be able to wear the clothes. Most of them probably not outdated. Some of them still have the tags on. And I want you to think about that for a moment. Why does something still have the tag on it? Would you wear it when it's been in the closet for maybe 3 or 4 years? You've never touched it. You've never even showed it to anyone. No one knows it exists, and you probably don't even remember the cost of it. Yes, it has the ticket on it, but you had to really go back and look at the ticket, and then you say, wow, did I spend money on something that apparently it wasn't really of any value? Because if it were and you felt great about it, overall, you probably would have tapped into that source and worn the garment. So just think about decluttering your life overall. Find out what really is in your life that is of value and that makes sense to keep and that makes sense to develop, even if it's a relationship. If the relationship is not of value, if it's not helping you go to new heights and become more successful than you already are, then why are you still connected to that relationship? And that relationship could be personal, professional, and of course, the family dynamics, which is a whole nother topic in and of itself. But again, it still is a relationship that you may actually find yourself over time decluttering, because perhaps it's a toxic relationship, and so it may not have its value that it once had, or it's just making you sick. How about that? But the reality is we have to think about decluttering, and every time you hear my videos, I always tell you, where can you start? Number one, mindset. Start with the mindset, knowing that you just have too much. You're on overload. Your brain's on overload. Your life in general may be on overload. And you want to take a few steps to minimize the stress and minimize the clutter. Here they are. You ready for tip number one? Tip number one, find out before you start to declutter a particular item or relationship. Make sure you've had everything all together. Make sure that you really took interest, and make sure that you've interviewed, if you will. You may have to interview the person to figure out if indeed they still should be a part of your life or a relationship, okay? And with family, of course, you may kind of tread lightly on that one, but you'll know, because family dynamics are very different. You can't, let's just face it, you can't choose your family. Whether you like them or you don't like them, they are still and could still be a part of your life in some small way, right? But the first thing you want to do is just reevaluate the relationships that you already have. Does it make sense to continue with that relationship? Does that relationship bring you joy? Are you happy with it at all? And if that is the case, then that may not be a relationship that you just want to toss away, right? So that's number one. Just reevaluate what you already have and then put it to the side and decide, okay, I no longer need that relationship. It doesn't bring me any value. In fact, it may be toxic and it's not going to help you accomplish your goals in life. So that's an easy one. You just have to let it go. All right. Number two, you want to actually have a conversation. Basically, you're having a conversation with yourself. Get your pen and paper. I say it all the time. If something means that much to you, you will write it down. If you have a goal in mind, you will write it down. And to declutter in your life, to understand writing down the things that you want in your life and writing down the things that you don't want or no longer serve value in your life. So again, get the pen and paper, pencil, doesn't matter. Get it on paper. Starts in a mindset and then get it on paper and follow through. Okay? Number three, the last tip regarding decluttering. Guess what? Sometimes you may not have to look at it at all anymore. You know you've had something for so long and you just don't even find any value whatsoever. So if you were used to doing a particular task or you were part of a group or something like that, and they no longer serve you, or your value, and perhaps they don't even value you or your attention or your content or just you in general, then that would be something you would take a second look at, and then you can decide. Again, it will go in pile number one or pile number two or pile number three. Either way, you have to declutter at the end of the day. Don't keep something around just because. Keep things around you and surround yourself with like-minded individuals, like-minded groups, if you will, if that's what you're joining. But you have to think about it from a fact. Does it serve you any good? And if it did at one time, that's fantastic. And you can just rejoice in that. You can reminisce in that. But going forward, if you're really finding it does not serve you any real value any longer, you've elevated your, passion and purpose. And sometimes that means you have to declutter and remove the clutter so you can see through your successful journey. So with that said, I'm Toye Johnson-Vincent, your no sugarcoating coach, motivational speaker, certified life coach, HR talent acquisition professional. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel after you've seen this video. I appreciate it. And make sure you share. What is it? Sharing is caring. You know that. And again, you want to learn more about me and my multiple stories of #resilience, or to invite me to speak, inspire, and empower with my content that is made for any size audience and any industry. Go ahead and check me out on my website. TJV empowers you. TheLetterU.com. Again, TJV empowers you. TheLetterU.com. Until next time, don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel and catch me on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, LinkedIn. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye now.